Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I am so sorry for the delays I've been on for my channel. A lot of stuff has been going on right now. I needed to take care of that personal stuff, financial stuff, and everything. Um, so sorry about that. This is Janelle. Welcome aboard. Has anybody doing any kind of crafting lately? I hope so, because the part of this channel is to have people crafting and having comments. I have not done a live stream. I really don't have the equipment for the live stream. So sorry about that. I really didn't make any promises. If you saw me doing the live stream and then was not prepared, I would never do that to my viewers, okay? Give you guys false hope. Um, so this is basically just a greeting for at this moment. It's just checking in to see how everyone is doing. Hope everyone is crafting and doing what you guys can with crafts and stuff like that. Um, what else? So again, I apologize for being delayed. This is going to be a greeting video. However, this may be the last greeting videos. Okay, I'm just going to just jump right to the tutorials on Thursdays and then not do any more greetings, because I think that's what's stopping everyone from making comments, because I'm maybe talking too much. So this is going to be the last greeting. You know who I am. You know what the channel is. Job's Peak, Yarns, Crafts, and Crocheting. I've not come across any crafts or hobbies. I may have a couple of them for the next couple of weeks. Today's, after this video, I'm going to stop the video, see how things are going. If anybody has any comments, please make the comments. Ask the questions. This is why I have this channel. My concern is that maybe my comments are turned off. If the comments are turned off, I will go into my editor and reopen those comments so you guys can comment and ask the questions that you need to ask, or concerns, or whatever. Positive comments, please. That's all I do, is positive feedback. I know I've been delayed. I know I've been turned off for a little while, but I needed to take care of something personal. Okay? My family and financial is more important than anything else in between. Okay? So I do have an idea for a quick tutorial. It's not really a tutorial, but it's more of a showing you how to do something real quick. You probably already know that counted cross stitch. I forgot to mention that you need to put a loom or a loop over that. So I'm going to stop this video, okay? Do an editing of the greeting video instead of having a separate video, and then turn it back on with a needlepoint and or a counted cross stitch that I have personally, and show you how to use those loops for either one of those, or embroidery, or sewing, hand sewing. People do a lot of hand sewing as well, or embroidery. I'm not an embroidery kind of person, but we'll see. So, I'll do that. I'll stop this video, get myself prepared, and show you what goes on for that. Okay? So, remember to like, subscribe, and hit the bell. I need more subscribers. This is just a hobby video, okay? This is just a hobby channel. Okay, I have a primary job that really, really has been occupying my time right now. So, yeah. Okay, I've been doing my blanket. I've been doing my crocheting for that. just trying to get things going here. Trying to get that caught up. Personal stuff came up that needs to be taken care of before I did the videos. And lately, I've just been really, really exhausted lately. Um, so I do apologize for that. So I will do is stop this. Remember to like, subscribe, and hit the bell. Leave some comments down below. Comments, questions, concerns, whatever. If you're in a hobby store and you don't know what's going on, what you need to do, or how to do that particular hobby or craft. Crafting is kind of like a hobby. It's like something that you like to do in your spare time. This is what this channel is about. Yarns, crafts, and crocheting. See, that middle word there is crafts. So if you have any kind of concerns or questions on a new craft or a new hobby, I didn't say hobby because it would just make the title too long. Okay? Hobby is crafting. So if people are not aware of that, then understandable. So what I'm going to do is, instead of editing this video separately, I'm going to edit this video with a loop tutorial for needle type stuff. And this is like a spontaneous kind of thing. And what I'm going to do is, instead of saying, hi, how you doing today, or having it, my face being at the screen, it will be a quick tutorial, very quick, just showing you how to use the loops, different sizes, different styles, and then show you where to position your loop on your craft. So if you're doing a needlepoint, embroidery, cross stitch, counted cross stitch, sewing, hand sewing type stuff, some projects like that require a loop, depending on what you're doing. So, okay, I'm going to stop this, and I'll be back with a tutorial real quick. Okay? One moment. Hello, everyone. Oh, I didn't think I could do this. Wow. The iPad is sitting on a leg of my crafting table. Now you have a view of my kitchen and my small appliances. I do live in an apartment with my fiance. Yeah, long story. Personal reasons. We're looking into purchasing a home and within a couple months. So we're wanting to get out of here. Apartment life is fine, but not when you were living with someone, especially in a one bedroom. It's a roof over our head, so that's the main thing. That's not what this channel is about, my personal life. I wanted to say something like that. I hope everyone is happy with that. Yeah, we are trying to purchase a home, a nice house for the two of us. And then it will be a hobby room, and that will give me more room and space to do my channel and to do what I need to do. Okay? Let me just step on in and show you the loops real quick. So, here's the loops. I got these at Michael's. And it looks like wood. Here's a small one. Isn't that neat? It's fake wood. It's not real wood. It's like a rubber. Okay? So what this will do is, it's like a loop, and it just comes off just like that. See how cute that is? I just fell in love with that. I needed to get all three sizes because this is just too cute to pass this up. Okay? I like wood. So, yeah. Pretty neat, huh? Like this. Alright? Look at that. Awesome. Alright, and then this is the other part. And it just looks like a little space to put this into it. So if you're working on a project, you just snap that in the bottom, in the back of your project. I'll show you that in just a second. And then just loop this over your project. In whatever section you're working on, like a needlepoint, you need to put this where your section you're doing. And just put that on there and make sure it's nice and snug. Then you have room to grab onto it, and then that way you can do your a lot of mistakes people make is to sew over the loop, and you can't take it off. Please try not to do that. I'll show you that in just a second as well. Okay, so this is a small size. This is good for like needlepoint. This will give you a good section wherever you're doing. Or if you're doing a bigger section, a medium section on your project, here's a medium one. It's the same thing, straightforward. Stuff like that. That is just absolutely, it shows you the grain of the wood, just like a wood thing. Stuff like that. Isn't that neat? Again, it just pops right off. Just make sure that you give it some slack, and then it comes off. And it's the same thing. You have your space for it. Okay? So this is like your bigger space. It could be with needlepoint embroidery. Really doesn't matter what size you're doing on your project. But if you're doing like a small space, like one of those small needle points and those small cross stitches, they have a smaller size. I didn't want to go that small. But with those smaller ones, they have a smaller one of these over at Michael's. This is where I got these at. Okay? And then here's a bigger one. This is for like all your larger projects, if you have a larger space, or like a tapestry, like wall hanging tapestries. This will be useful for that. This will give you more space, and again, got this nice fake wood, and it's the same thing. It just pops right off, and then everything else. Okay? So, as you remember, that counted cross stitch of that cabin is yet to be worked on yet. I have other projects that had to be done. Remember when I told you that when you're doing this, it has to be at a certain area, and then put one of these loops in that section that you're working. Let's say if you're working on this area, or if you're working on the actual log cabin in the middle of the woods, put your loop within that space. Okay, I'll show you that in just a second. But this is yet to be worked on. I can't wait to start doing this. But I do have other projects that have to be completed within this time. And I have that latch hook too. So, I'll show you how to use a loop for this as well, okay? This is my needlepoint. Just happens to be in a shoebox. This is my needlepoint of Killer Whales, or Cook Cove, I think it is. And it's also in dimension. No, this is dimensions, not the gold stationer, but this is the dimensions, the same dimensions as the same company as the cabin. Okay, it's in the same company. I love this company. I will not choose anything else but this company. They have easy instructions, like I showed you in that tutorial. This is my needlepoint. I love killer whales. They're my favorite mammals. They're really, really smart. They're the top of the food chain for sharks and other mammals. But yeah, these are my favorite creatures. They're just so lovely and so smart and so cute. So these are my favorite. I do love dolphins as well. Yeah, this is what I'm working on right now. And I am in where am I at? The heck? Forgot where I'm at. Oh, okay. I know where I'm at. I'm in this area right here. I'm mixing the colors above right now. So yeah, of the ocean. Isn't that pretty? I've kind of done the lighthouse, but not really. Um, with these, it's just experimental to learn from. I've done the sky. I'll show you mine here in just a second. And then that's pretty, isn't it? Okay? Just like the cross stitch. Alright? It looks kind of a little rough around the edges right now, but that's what it looks like right now. I do have the sky all completed. Needlepoint and cross stitch are not far off on projects, but it's a little bit of a different thing. I found needlepoint to be a little bit quicker, in my opinion. I'm gonna try to work on the cove. I've done some of the trees, as you can see. The lighthouse is kinda done, but not really. But yeah. Okay. A couple of the orcas are pretty much almost there. I gotta work on some more on them. But yeah, it's getting there. Okay. So to do the loop, let's say if you're doing, like I'm doing this section right here of mixing, I'm just going to show you that real quick, okay? It'll be easier for me to just point it at myself and then. Okay, here's my thread. I'm mixing some colors. I have 2 different colors on here. Alright. So I'm going to probably do the small loop. Okay? Alright? I found a small one and small spaces can work a little bit better or more efficient. Okay? And I am going to show you that. There's that. Put your other part down. And as you can see, I'm putting it towards the back. Like right there, where my needle is at. But try not to loop over your needle and then get it stuck. Okay? Go within that section. Like so. Okay? Like this. Alright? There's my needle right there. Go within that space. So if I'm doing this section, go in that space. Alright? But try not to loop your needle through. You gotta just yank it out and then have it go in the middle. Alright? There we go. See how it's, my project is in the loop. Don't go on the other side of it and then have yourself all tangled up. I've done that I don't know how many times. Okay? So I'm gonna just fix my section where I'm at, wherever I'm at in here, and go within that section. So let's say if I'm going into that blue, okay, then I'm gonna take the top loop, set it on a hard surface, okay, or your lap. Just make sure you don't poke yourself. And then just find wherever you are in that area, and then just make sure. I'm probably just gonna do the medium one. Just give you some general idea. Will be a little bit wiser, like this one. Again, don't go. Try to aim your needle in the middle. Okay. Yeah, that's much better. Okay, make sure that you flatten out your canvas. Make sure it's no creases, because once you put it on, you're not stuck. It's just will be easier. And just snap it on, like so. Kind of guide it, make sure. Not as easy as it looks, but it's almost there. Just kind of guide it. And then as you're guiding it, it's going to get tighter. Sorry, the noise in the background is my washing machine. Okay, there we go. And now you can adjust your canvas. See, that's what it looks like. That's the section I'm in. Okay, that makes it nice and snug. Easy to grab, easy to work with, and if you want to make it more tighter while it's in there, then you can. I like it tighter the better. That's just me. So yeah, that's that. If you want to have it a little bit more snug at the bottom, you can adjust it as the loop is on your project. Then you can go in that section. Okay? Alright, what I like to do is fold like in here, that way you're not sewing within, and then just go within, under and over and under and over, and then, okay, that's that. And it's a nice little, it's like the cross stitch, but needlepoint is a little bit different, but you're just going in one area, okay? But yeah, I haven't done it in a while, so I'm kind of a little bit rusty, so I'm not exactly sure if I'm in that section still. So whatever you want, okay? That's not gonna be a big deal. So just do whatever you need to do, and then go from there. And if you need to tie off and you're getting small, just find wherever your section you're doing your yarn from, and match your yarns over again, and then finish that section. But you do it behind this, okay? This is your back end here. I'll use the needle to show you. This is your back end over here. So if you go in one section, it makes it look a little bit better. Or if you want to loop your ending part with the new yarn, go underneath the old stuff over here, like that, and it will hold on to that area, and then you can finish working. Yeah, that's that. Cross stitch is a little bit different, but not much. And if you're done, like I said, just snap it right off. Okay, that's it. One-handed. I'm gonna take my needle so I don't stab myself with it. A lot of people will use a thimble. Buy yourself a nice thimble to not stab yourself with it. I'm gonna go up real quick. See, some people like to use the loop and some people don't. I do because it stops it from tangling, and you have something to work with, and you're watching TV or watching a movie or something like that. I'm just going to stay up, and then I'm just going to neatly put it through there, and then that way I don't get stabbed. And the cross stitch is the same thing. You just tape it up so you're not getting your frame done on your project, because this section you're not going to be working on. This is your area where you don't need to work on it. So this is your framing. If you're going to frame it, this is your framing where the project is at and ending. Okay, that's where your frame is going to go. Alright, so if you want to get it nice and custom framed and make it look good, then do the best you can. What's nice about cross stitch and needlepoint, this is your first time doing it, don't kick yourself if it's not perfect. Okay? Just, enjoy it. It doesn't have to be overly perfect. And if you're one of those kind of people that say, hey, okay, it does have to be perfect, then whatever, by all means. Just fold it up. And mine's in that old shoebox. Well, it doesn't have to be, but if you get a nice, one of those nice yarn totes, then fine. And the cross stitch is the same thing. Just find wherever your section is at and use the loops. And it goes on the same way. So if you're working on a particular section of the counted cross stitch, let's say if I decide to do the cabin and learn from that, I'll put this loop where that house is at. Okay? So that's in there. Needlepoint and the kit is not any different than cross stitches or embroideries. They have your instructions, they have your packet, you have your needles, you have your threads, you have your everything. It's all the same. So like, let's say if I decide to do this nice cabin, I'll put the loop within this space and then work from it that way. And then you do the same thing. You just put the white on the back and then put the wood on the front and then make sure it's nice and snug and then do your project. It's not really a big deal, to be honest with you. It's kind of neat. Embroidery is the same thing. You put that loop where you're going to be working, and then whatever. Or if you do a middle or the big one, and then you have this whole section here to work with, then that makes life a little easier too. But it also makes people tangled up. So I'd probably suggest not to do it that way. But then at the same time, if you do like a middle, like I showed you with the orca, if I'm doing an actual orca or the fluke, then I put that loop in that area and finish that well. I could do it that way. But it's really, really fun to work with. I do like needle stuff. It is relaxing. But my thing right now is crocheting right now. I'm doing a blanket right now. I'll show you real quick. Those are the loops. It is my blanket. It is a crocheting of granny squares of a diamond. Okay. It's going to be quite large. So here's the peak of the diamond. Okay. These are granny squares. This is an 8-row outside. Okay. Alternating colors. On the inner diamond is a 6-row to shape into a diamond. And in the middle is going to be a granny square that's going to fit that space, but rotate it into a diamond. And that's going to go in the middle. And then on the corners, it's going to be a granny shawl for the corners of each of these colors. And each of the corners is going to be a different kind of granny square. So it's going to be like a variety of grannies. So I got the original granny going right now. I'm almost done. And it's going to be different types of grannies as I go. So it's going to be two of, or maybe one of this regular solid granny. Mind you, I've done a 80, I think my count is like 80 something count. A lot of these. And bordered. I drove myself to drink. But it was fun. Okay? So we got these, and then my granny square in the middle, and the corners is going to shape into a square, not into a diamond. The diamond is going to be visible throughout the blanket, but I'm not going to wear it that way. As you can see, I can't snuggle up with that. So the corners is going to help me snuggle with it and then be more warm. Okay? So each granny corner is going to be a different type of granny. Okay? Each corner is going to be a solid, a regular granny, and then I found a new way of doing a granny square, and it might have that new fancy corners to go up. So I might be able to do that for the other two and then have it mixed. Okay? So, yeah, that's that. That's my blanket. It's been taking me forever. You saw my needlepoint. That's taken forever. But a lot of these projects are going to me. So if you work on a project, make sure that you try to go to yourself first and then learn from it. I mean, if you want to make something for someone, fine, then do it. But give them enough, say, hey, you need to give me enough time to be able to do it for you, because it takes me a while and I have other things I have to do outside of that. And a lot of people are pretty understanding, and they will be okay with that. But if they need it for like a baby blanket and they need it right away, that's going to be a priority. Okay? Well, I'm just trying to fold it nicely and put it back on my yarn caddy. Alright, that's that. Next week, I'm going to find something to show you guys. Remember to like, subscribe, and hit the bell. And go from there. I probably shouldn't have done it that way. But, yeah, anyway, just enjoy and do some hobbies and enjoy, okay? Alright, so part of that is going to be edited because I just rotated. I'm not sure if it's going to go well with the editing on that. I'll give my best, okay? Like, subscribe, and hit the bell. Make some comments, questions, whatever. And I'm always here. I'm going to try to answer the best way I can and in a timely manner. And then we'll go from there. Alright? I'll talk to you guys soon, and happy crafting. Bye-bye.